It's been a disastrous 48 hours for the president. And so overnight, he stroked out on Truth Social again. Why is it that when everything goes wrong, he retreats to wherever he is in the White House, putting these messages up, and makes us wonder, has he finally lost it to the point where he won't be able to do the job anymore? It starts, as it often does, saying that black people have a low IQ. Individual black people always, but they seem to always be black or Hispanic. Donald Trump posting, quote, Stephen A. Smith is an arrogant fool, a low IQ individual. In other words, he's dumb as a rock and totally unqualified to ever think of running for high political office or even low political office for that matter. He'd get annihilated in a debate by the most incompetent of politicians. Joe Biden's now fabled performance would look great by comparison to anything that this loudmouth huckster has to offer, which isn't much. Within a few weeks, they'd laugh him out of politics. Now, I got to tell you, in a debate, I can't stand Stephen A. Smith, but in a debate, I think Smith crushes Donald Trump. And what this is about is that Stephen A. Smith said, listen, if Trump comes to the game 3 of the NBA Finals and inconveniences everybody and the Knicks lose, people are going to blame Donald Trump. I'm going to blame Donald Trump. That happened, and the Knicks did lose. And Stephen A. Smith is blaming Donald Trump. And now Trump is flipping out, saying black man has low IQ. It's Jasmine Crockett. It's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. It's Stephen A. Smith. Is it on purpose, or does it just happen to be non-white people that he uses that insult against? I don't know. I'll leave it to you to determine. Then Trump shifts his ire. It's always outbound. Inflation's 4.2% because of your war in Iran. Let's attack somebody else. He goes into Joe Scarborough. Quote, Joe Scarborough's ever-shrinking low-rated show, one of the most inaccurate detailers of truthful facts on television, is being crushed in the ratings. His serious case on Trump derangement syndrome, often referred to as TDS, has made him a laughingstock among those who know what is going on in the wonderful world of television. His show is being cut because his ratings are terrible, and Mike and Willie, who wants to be his father but doesn't have the talent, are falling further and further into the TDS swamp. I think he means Mika, not Mike. He then says they all suffer from low ratings disease. Blame other people. There is no ability to self-reflect and go, let me just think. I'm going to sit back and really think for a moment. Here's a list of the promises I made people, and here's a list of the things I've done since I've become president. Are these the sorts of promises that are likely to be fulfilled by my actions? No, they're not. I'm screwing up. I'm making gas more expensive. I've pumped inflation to 4.2%. No, that is not something that Donald Trump is willing to do, and I don't think, quite frankly, it's something that he is capable of doing. He then shifts to Iran, which is a complete and total mess. Trump does use the word mess, but he uses it to blame other people. Posting, quote, Iran's military is a complete and total mess. Much of it, like their Navy and Air Force, doesn't even exist anymore. They have been completely defeated. Iran is all talk and no action. The bully of the Middle East is dead. They've taken too long to negotiate a deal that would have been great for them. Now they will have to pay the price. Does that sound like a ceasefire to you, my friends? Does that sound like a president who is ready to say it's time to end this war? That tweet coming at 7 a.m. And I think it's important to mention that how is it that on the one hand, Trump has insisted for months that Iran's Navy is done, its military is dead, they've got no Air Force, and they just took down one of our highly sophisticated Apache helicopters. How does a nation with no Navy and no Air Force take out the much vaunted American Apache helicopter? Something seems like it is missing. And then, as usual, everybody else is the problem. Trump directing his anger towards the media, which is a common one. I mean, listen, they put me on a list of media offenders after all. Trump posting, quote, the fake news media refuses to report how effective the U.S. naval blockade is, the most successful blockade in the history of naval warfare. Nothing gets through unless we want it to. It is a steel wall. Iran is doing zero business, not paying their military or any of their bills, and quickly becoming a failed nation. Lots of oil is getting out. Praise be to Allah. President Donald J. Trump. It's everybody else's fault, folks. It's everybody else's fault. Look at who just today Trump blamed in the last few hours. Joe Scarborough, MS Now, Mike, a.k.a. Mika Brzezinski, Willie Geist, and the fake news media. Stephen A. Smith, he's a huge problem. The Iranian military is terrible and is to blame. The Iranian regime, the fake news media for how they are and aren't reporting on the things Trump does and doesn't want said about his failed war in Iran. On inflation, the 4.2% number that came out today, Trump flunkies are saying, well, this is clearly because of Biden. Is it? You've been in power almost 2 years, and Biden turned over 3% inflation to you, and you're now at 4.2%. Everybody else is to blame instead of, damn, I shouldn't have started this war. It's that simple. I shouldn't have started this war. This was a mistake. There are reports that at the White House, there are proverbial ketchup throwing incidents just about daily. Not literal ketchup being thrown, although it might be, but just meltdown after meltdown, people screaming at each other, people turning on each other, because they are increasingly realizing that this is not a scenario that will lead to victory in November. This is not a scenario that's improving the lives of Americans. Americans will presumably vote in that way. And what does Donald Trump do? Publicly, he just goes on social media and posts a bunch of this crap. Exactly. That's Trump at the White House every single day. And what is unbelievable is that even the little stuff, the stuff that if things were going well, no one would care about, those things are backfiring as well. It's called UFC on Trump's birthday, and we've got to talk about it. Here's something people don't think about enough. There is not much of a line between online privacy and real-world safety. If someone gets angry at you in traffic, at work, in a relationship, or in a comment section, it can be very easy for them to figure out your details, address, phone number, relatives. A lot of that information is just sitting on public search databases right now. There is something you can do. Our sponsor, Incogni, helps protect you and your family by automatically sending removal requests to hundreds of these databases, and they are legally required to comply and get rid of your information. Incogni will follow up until it's done. Incogni's custom removals is my favorite feature. If I find information on a random directory or an obscure business database or some new people search site, I just paste the link into Incogni. Their privacy experts work to get it removed. Removing your information from these online databases is critical to protect yourself and your loved ones. Get 60% off when you go to incogni.com/Pakman. Use the code Pakman. The link is in the description.